Gersh Academy graduate, Mr. Paul Fries.
Hello, graduating seniors, family, friends, Gersh Academy teachers, and administrators. I would like to thank you all for being here on this special day and for having me as your speaker. My name is Paul Fries. I graduated from Gersh Academy in 2009. I started my Gersh experience in a small program at West Hills Montessori in the 4th grade. At the time, we were only a small class of 10, but over the years it has expanded to many more students and a few of our own locations. While there were some growing pains being in a new program, I can honestly say that a few things always stayed constant, were their caring staff and dedicated teachers, as well as a comfortable and effective learning environment that helped me and many others, including the graduates that we're honoring today, reach our full potential. Graduates and future graduates, today my message is directly to you. I have sat through my share of speakers talking about themselves, and I would never want to subject others to that. However, since I went through a similar experience to you guys, I feel like if you hear my story, there may be parts of it that you could relate to. There could be parts of it that could help prepare you for what is to come, and who knows, it might even be interesting. At the end, I will give you 3 key pieces of advice that I would like you to remember. When I was making this speech, I put myself back in your shoes and remembered how it was like moving on. It was a time when I was very happy. I was a high school graduate and I was enrolled in Molloy College for the fall. However, there was a part of me that was very anxious and unsure as well. As happy as I was in Gersh, I was not in a school with neurotypical students since the 3rd grade. During that time, I succeeded academically, but was excluded from my classmates and considered weird. Being a child on the autism spectrum was a huge challenge. Looking back, I felt that I was stuck in my own world and unaware of almost everything going on around me. Hearing stories from my mom about that year made me feel how shocked about how disabled I really was at the time. Now, I am going back to the real world, but as an adult on the autism spectrum. I did not know if I would be able to make friends or fit in. Never having a normal high school experience made me unsure if I'd be able to keep up academically. I was not used to having a lot of homework, being in a large classroom, talking to people I did not know, or presenting papers or PowerPoints. I spent my summer preparing for college, just as many others would, by playing endless hours of video games. In late August, freshman orientation came around, and I went into it very nervous and quiet. Then I came across a situation that none of my Gersh years prepared me for. I was completely confused, overwhelmed, lost, and perplexed. My orientation group had around 20 students, and I was the only guy. This was something I would come across a lot at Molloy, since there is a 70-30 female-to-male ratio. You know, it's not too late for you guys to transfer. As for orientation, I was very quiet the whole time and didn't make any friends over those 2 days. It wasn't exactly a good start for me. The actual school year didn't start well either, because I was very anxious being in an unfamiliar situation and wanted to succeed so badly. Throughout my entire first year, I pretty much kept to myself, and I got close to one person that was my disability services coordinator. We would talk every week, and eventually she came up with an idea of having a discussion group for her students. I became friends with 2 people who attended those meetings, Samantha and Sarah. Looking back at the whole first year, academically it was a huge success. I aced all my classes, only getting an A- in my freshman experience class, which bothered me for quite some time. The 3 classes that worried me the most, Italian, statistics, and philosophy, were actually no problem at all. However, focusing all my energy on my academics made my life feel off balance. I spent most of my time playing video games to the point where it felt like an addiction. That summer, I felt like I need to do something. I wanted to get to know Sam from discussion group a little better, so I managed to get her to invite me to newspaper club. I did well that summer, getting 3 of my articles in the yearly magazine, one of them about the college's president. But as for me and Sam, since we both had high-functioning autism, and everyone else was neurotypical, they ended up all talking amongst themselves, and we spent a lot of time together, but felt left out by the group. The breaking point was when we found out through Facebook that everyone in the club went to go see a movie, and we had no idea about it. This encouraged us to take action. We decided that we should try to work with the rest of the discussion group and make our own club. We got the disability services coordinator to be our club moderator, and Sarah to be our vice president, with me and Sam as co-presidents. The name of our club would be Leadership, Education, and Awareness for Disabilities, or otherwise known as LEAD. Our mission was to help raise disability awareness on campus and in the community, as well as provide a place where people with disabilities can feel welcome and make friends. Before the next semester started, we made a constitution, presented for the student government, and were approved, and recruited freshmen at orientation and at the disability office's orientation. The club became a huge success very quickly. We had 10 to 20 people at our meetings, and our members made presentations for other classes, had disability awareness tables, and hangouts every month. We even helped out at the Special Olympics, participated in a Dinner in the Dark event, and got a group together for last year's Autism Walk. We even had an event on campus called Wheeling the Way, where people borrowed a wheelchair for a day, and did this for a whole month, and got the president of the college to participate. Our club remains strong and has big plans for next year, such as a wheelchair basketball game, the Autism Walk again, and Wheeling Away again, as well as a disability conference in Baltimore. I'm always insistent that we have a big presence in orientation so that people coming into the school have a place where they could fit in, and so our club could live on for years to come. Being involved in the club helped shape my last 2 years. I kept up with my schoolwork and still got amazing grades, but decided perfection wasn't really necessary. I have a more balanced life with a nice group of friends and have been going out with Sam since last April. I started Molloy as a computer information systems major, but found out I was more into business. I plan on getting my bachelor's in accounting next year, and I'm going for my master's degree at Molloy for finance and taking the CPA exam. Well, now that I'm done talking about myself, I would like to emphasize to the graduates and graduates of the future to pay attention to the last part of the speech. My first piece of advice to you is something that I did not realize until I started college. This is not so much something that will require action, but is something that you should remember as you move on. It is that Gersh Academy has prepared you very well and has given you an excellent education. I'll bet that you will learn twice as much here as you would have if you stayed in public high school. I say this because when I went to college, I was much more prepared than many of the other students. Learning Italian, which was a new language to me, was very easy after already taking Spanish at Gersh. The one-on-one help I received helped me easily understand how the language works so I could learn a new one with ease. Statistics was an extremely easy class at Molloy because I was challenged so much here at Gersh. In fact, I would say that it was much easier than the classes I took here in my junior and senior years. We did things in my statistics class that I was taught in the middle school program. Thanks to classes such as Mrs. Bradley's English class, I was able to effectively write for all my college classes. Many of my friends actually come to me and ask me to review their papers, see if they should change anything. I also became a tutor and help others with various different subjects. If you have doubts about the education you received and think you'll be overwhelmed by college work, I can honestly tell you that you are as prepared as anyone else going into those doors. My next piece of advice is a call to action based on the first one. Since you'll receive this excellent education, I want to encourage you to give it the old college try. But what I mean by this is actually give college a try. I'm going to assume that some of you have already been accepted to a college for the fall and made a commitment. You guys can sit tight until the last piece of advice. For some of you, school might have been an uphill battle so far. Working so hard and finally graduating may feel like reaching the top of that hill. Now that you made it to the top, you peek down and you have two choices. There's a second hill that seems much larger and has unfamiliar terrain. After spending so much time and energy climbing the first hill, you were unsure if you could learn the new terrain and climb such a large hill in front of you. This is the hill of college. It is a larger and more unfamiliar hill, but it is also a more rewarding hill. Now you look to the left and see a valley. It seems more easy and pleasant with not as many challenges. This is the valley of employment. This may seem like the easy way out, but I will encourage you to think twice before entering that valley. The valley has few challenges for such a skilled climber, so it could get boring very quickly. The valley will also leave you stuck quite often, as has many dead ends. By this I mean it's very hard to find a job right now without a college degree. Many jobs that never required college before now ask that you have a 4-year degree to interview. If you do get lucky and find one, it's hard to get promoted. Most management positions require degrees as well. The result is that you'll be stuck in the valley for years to come. You may want to give a try at the Hill College a few years after the Valley, but it'll be much harder as you haven't climbed in so many years. This is why it's vital to go right away for the Hill of College. After climbing the first hill, the seemingly larger Hill of College will actually end up not being so bad. You have built up the skills you need to climb the larger hill and learn the new terrain. At first, it will be challenging, but once you have mastered the environment, you'll be able to call that your hill. After you reach the top, you will have the skills and opportunity to do anything you want with your life. You'll be able to make your dreams come true. All you must do is have some courage and go for the second hill. My last piece of advice for you is to get involved in the disability community. To do this, you must first accept yourself, accept your identity as someone with a disability, and be proud of it. Your disability is a part of what makes you a unique individual. Being able to accomplish what you have with a few extra challenges makes those achievements even more magnificent. The next thing you need to do is not be afraid to share this part of you with others. Some people find it tempting when they have a fresh start in a new college to deny they have a disability and keep it a closely guarded secret. Doing this could have negative consequences. You will be preventing others from seeing a part of yourself which many people would actually admire. Trying to act like someone you are not will cause you to feel and act more reserved and prevents you from making new friends instead of helping you. Now, I'm not saying you should go up to every person you meet and say, "Hi, my name is so-and-so and I have a disability." All you need to do is have an attitude that that disability is a part of you and that you are not trying to hide it. When it feels right, you might want to tell some people that you can relate to or understand your experiences. Some people you'll probably not even tell at all. The key is just to be yourself, because there are many people out there who want to be friends with that person. Not being yourself will deny them of that. For the people out there who do not respect who you really are, they are not even worthy of your time or friendship, and you do not need to spend an ounce of your energy on them. Once you are comfortable expressing your true self, you could try to find others that have faced similar challenges and you could relate to. The key is to get involved with your Disability Support Services office. If they already have ways for people with disabilities to meet others and get involved, then for you this is easy as asking for a time and place. If they do not, get to know your services coordinator. Explain to them how getting people together with similar challenges to meet will be great for you, other students, and the college. I've met some of my best friends and girlfriend through my Disability Support Services office, and now I have an amazing social life. That wouldn't have been possible if she didn't start a discussion group so that we all could have met each other. You really need to push to try to set up something formal where students can get together and talk about your challenges and connect with each other. Simply having the coordinator introduce you to a few students is nice, but not quite enough. My discussion group now also focuses on making new students with disabilities comfortable with the Disability Support Services Office and the college in general. We come in at open houses, accepted students day, and even have our own orientation just for the office. Through this group and the club that we created, we have transformed our college into a place where people with disabilities are welcome for their first day and have a place where they'll be accepted and be able to connect with others that have similar challenges. They are now able to share their experiences with the community to make them more aware, and they can become leaders on campus. I really wish every college gave this to their students, but I'm sure there are some out there that could use some improvement. Graduates and future graduates, my last and most important request is for you to help make this happen. If you go to a school where disability community is not being embraced enough, do not be afraid to take action. Meet with your Disability Services coordinator, talk to your fellow students, and transform your college into a place where people like us can feel welcome and do great things. Thank you.